In the 5 myths, I just want us, for the benefit of our viewers, to go one by one so you can explain then what you found. The first myth is that South Africa is swamped with immigrants. What does your research show?
So there's a common belief that the immigrant population in South Africa is in the tens of millions. One politician once commented that there are at least 10 million undocumented migrants. So looking at data from Statistics South Africa, Stats SA noted last year that there were 3.95 million migrants in South Africa. This includes both regular, legal, and irregular, illegal migrants. And this is also supported by the United Nations, which did a study in 2019 and estimated that figure to be around 4.2 million. So by looking at that, you can get a sense of the number of migrants that are there in the country, regular or not. Some people have noted that because of porous borders, we can't. But from Stats SA, the Chief Director for Demography and Population, Diego Terralde, explained this at length, and he notes that the population growth in South Africa cannot and should not be attributed to immigrants, but rather fertility. So this substantiates the finding that there are just about 4 million migrants in the country.
About 6.5% of the total population. Okay, myth number 2, immigrants steal jobs and employment opportunities from South Africans. What does your research find?
This is a very contentious one because there is a belief around migrants stealing jobs, and anecdotal evidence supports that. And this is based on, the areas that migrants congregate. These are also areas in which you find struggling South Africans, disadvantaged South Africans. And, when you look at the decent labor framework from the ILO, it indicates that migrants take jobs that don't conform to the framework. So in terms of statistics, the data done by the World Bank again notes that for every one regular migrant, one illegal migrant, jobs for 2 South Africans are created. So
3, and just to speed up a little bit in the interest of time, I want to cover all 5.
Right.
Immigrants contribute to or are responsible for high levels of crime. That's myth number 3. What does your research show?
So from the research, we looked at figures that were provided by Justice Lamula. And these figures indicated that to an extent, there is a proportion of migrants in the country's jail, but there is no evidence that supports that migrants are responsible for most of the crime. And this can also be supported by comments that were made by the police minister 2 weeks ago when he noted that the South African jail is full, and I quote, of South African men, and of the convicts that were there, 18,000 were only migrants out of the 544. And recently...
We get the point. Most immigrants are in the country legally. That's myth number 4. Is that the case?
Yes, migrants come into the country regularly. However, unfortunately, due to issues that we're very well aware of regarding home affairs and issues around corruption, the effect of the pandemic, inability to finalize visas, changing of visa regulations also has meant that, to an extent, migrants come into the country legally and struggle to renew their papers, and this can be attributed to significantly to the department's dysfunctionality.
Okay. Finally, Anthony, myth number 5, migrants are flooding public health care services. I mean, we all remember what happened in Limpopo a few weeks ago.
Yes. At a 6.5% population, it's statistically impossible for migrants to do that. And we're very well... aware that the health department has had several issues around corruption, poor governance. So that should also be considered.
Yeah.